So we're now watching, actually, we will watch the Muhodo against Cosmos series. So let's jump into that draft there. Wait, why did it not pull the names here? There
Yeah,
we
as a
go.
fellow American, I'm always going to be rooting for GUA. I hope he goes far in today's tournament.
Hmm.
Over here in America, we have a lack of top level talent. So GUA is kind of the player we're all pinning our hopes on. No pressure
No
to
pressure.
him.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I was looking at the leaderboard today, just because, like, in preparation for the tournament, and I actually, like, I have to admit I was a little bit proud when I saw that May, a German player, is number one right now. That's like, we representing, baby. So.
Listen, Europe as a whole, I
Hmm.
think, has a stranglehold on the top players.
Yeah.
So I want one,
Hmm.
and GUA, he's our only hope right now.
Yeah, so let's hope for GUA. Um, I mean, he has, I don't want to say an uphill battle, but he's playing against Valdemar, so let's see if he can pull ahead here. But they just started their series, and we're gonna catch one of them after this. So for now, we're jumping into, yeah, as you see here on the screen, Muhodo against Cosmos. I actually need to fix the map here, so it is
So
gonna
so
be.
interesting. China first ban on both sides, no surprises there, widely considered to be the strongest of the civs. But outside of that, you kind of have some variation in the bans. Cosmos banning Zushi's Legacy, Byzantines, and House of Lancaster. Meanwhile, Muhodo, Byzantines, House of Lancaster, Holy Roman Empire. So actually, now that I think about it, you do have Byzantines and House of Lancaster on there twice. It's just a difference between HRE and Zushi's Legacy. I'm a tad surprised to see the HRE ban. HRE has been a civ that was permabanned in most tournaments,
Mm,
and then a recent patch brought their faster gathering rate from 40% down to 35%, and you started seeing HRE filter on through and avoid the bans and see some play. So seeing it kind of back on the ban list is curious. I wasn't expecting it so soon.
yeah. I mean, I do wonder if Muhodo was, checking out the the previous series and was seeing Cosmos playing HE um, against the Mongols, against Drakor. So maybe he was like, I don't wanna run into this. So better ban it. Better safe than sorry. Or Cosmos is especially good with HE. Like there's like, at some point maybe it's a personal preference. Um, but yeah, as you said, like not wholly surprising here, the bans. The picks also seem very solid to me. No Knights Templar, so not really in favor here, unless there's a water map, it feels like.
Yeah, Knights Templar really dominates on the water map, so it doesn't surprise me. Looking at the overall draft, I gotta say, I kind of like Mahudu's draft a little bit better, only in the sense that he has Rus and Japanese, which are really a powerful combo.
Hmm.
Um, Whereas Cosmos has Zushi's Legacy, which is a very powerful civ, but then I feel like there's some fall off from that point.
Hmm.
Malians, Delhi, Ottomans are good civs, but not great civs. Abbasid Mongols are also good. Abbasid is a little weak right now. Muhodo, backing up Japanese and Rus, also has Ayyubids, also has French, also has HRE. So I just feel like of the powerhouse civs, Muhodo just has more.
Yeah, I can agree with that, I think. But I mean, at the same time, like, we've seen Malians being played more lately in competitive play. Ottomans we've just seen earlier today as well. And it seems to be picking up a little bit again. So yeah, I would say slight advantage potentially for Mahudu, but I also like Cosmos and his draft here. So we're gonna see how it turns out. For the first match, we have Ayyubids against Ottomans on Dry Arabia. So um, I would say we just, yeah, let's see, the draft is already, yeah, let's jump right into that. So
All
yeah,
right, there we
Muhodo,
go.
I gotta switch here the overlay, but Muhodo playing on the left side here, um, and with the Ayyubids on orange, yeah, moving out immediately to the berries, no surprise there. Cosmos actually opening with the military school, so yeah, just gathering 50 stone with the 5 villagers and then opening with the military school. Does that
Yeah,
surprise you,
this.
or does it make sense against the Ayyubids because they are likely not gonna play Dark Age anyway?
So I think Ottomans lately has been more skip military schools, maybe add them in feudal,
Mm-hmm.
maybe not. Ottomans, the meta is largely being figured out, but one thing I know is that going Dark Age military school against Ottoman or against Ayyubids is really good. Ayyubids likes to fast castle, so you can apply a little bit of pressure to the gold. You can sort of force some decision making out of Ayyubids. For instance, you can force a military wing if gold is under pressure. You
Mm.
can force Ayyubids to maybe make an archery range a little bit earlier than they want to. So I do like this play from Cosmos only because Muhodo has to respond to it somehow. And however he responds to it is a win for Cosmos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, since you want to have the military schools at some point either way, it's just a small delay for the beginning. It's not suitable for like heavy feudal aggression, Dark Age aggression. So if your opponent goes barracks, like obviously going for the military school will not be enough. But for that kind of situation, having a slow aggression in a sense, it takes like up to like if you're super fast, I guess you can do like a 2 minute something first spearman coming out, and then yeah, it has to make its way over to the other side. But yeah, it can be like not enough maybe to deny the fuel age, but at least to shut it down from there. And so you need to respond in some way or another. Um, Eco Wing for Mahudo for now.
It's a little bit of a different style we've seen out of Ayyubids. Ayyubids traditionally is going with the Culture Wing logistics option, but Eco Wing is still perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. But again, it's about that response.
Mm-hmm.
So Muhodo, does he put down an archery range? Does he put down a stable and go into Desert Raiders? How is he going to respond once his gold is under pressure? And no matter what he responds with, I feel like that just kind of puts Cosmos ahead.
Yeah. And I mean, I've seen the eco growth wing a little bit more often lately. Um, just because if you're going for logistics, yeah, it makes sense. But if you go for that later, you get more dervishes, and even better healing. If you go for the military wing, that's really nice, especially if you want to, again, have that situation that you pressure your opponent and then force them to react to something, and in the meantime, you just go your fast castle kind of thing as the Ayyubids like to do, but it's the same thing. If you go for the military wing later, you get more Desert Raiders out of it, so it would be like it makes sense. The wings get better like the later the game goes. It's the same with the culture wing. It's like it will get more like yeah, it will do more than 250 less costs if you're going for the Imperial Age. Like that would be a really terrible choice otherwise. And so the wings get better progressively, and so it makes sense to be like, yeah, like maybe I go for the eco wing now, and then I add the culture wing or the military wing afterwards. And so yeah, I've seen it a
It,
little bit more often.
usually, when I see Eco Wing first, which tends to be the preferred Castle Age choice, it means that Military Wing is probably coming second. Because the Culture Wing logistics at that point just feels like an opportunity cost mismatch. You get 3 dervishes, whereas if you went for it in Feudal Age, you get 2 dervishes. So it just doesn't feel as valuable going for it in Castle Age.
Mm,
Meanwhile, 3 Desert Raiders every 2 minutes feels a little bit more worthwhile.
yeah, yeah, I would agree. If you're going um with the like to go thinking about Castle Age, I think now the military wing would make more sense than the logistics one. Um, the few times I played the Ayyubids, and if I go for the Desert Raiders in Feudal Age and then for logistics in Castle Age, it is really nice because you get three dervishes out immediately, and then you have basically 3 safe relics already. But yeah, in terms of like investment and thinking about the resources and return investment, then yeah, the military wing for Castle Age would make more sense.
Yeah, I think the reason why players prefer it in Feudal Age beyond the obviously really powerful Feudal Age healing is because as you're going up to castle, you can line up those dervishes. Nice spearman's just going to go after the scout there in the middle. So you can line them up and you can steal the relics closer to your opponents before Castle Age comes in. The dervishes are already on top of the relics, so they just pick it up real quick. Muhodo, though, gonna tower his gold, so this aggression, horseman, and a desert raider is just sort of to shield his desire to go up to Castle Age. And it looks like Cosmos kind of agrees. He's macroing up to Castle Age too. He's going to use the military school for Sipahi, which is really good. They're going to do okay against Desert Raiders and well against these horsemen.
Yeah, Spy, like, every time I lost against Ottomans, it was because I wasn't respecting the Sipahi enough. Like, especially as Mongols, I'm like, well, I have Kashik, like, I can just, like, they can heal up, it's fine, it's gonna be fine. I just play Kashik Archer, and then they completely destroy me. I'm like, why are they stronger than my like, they at least feel stronger than the Kashik. So, yeah, you gotta respect them, and they're gonna be really strong against the Desert Raiders if they need to go up against them.
Yeah, so Desert Raiders are arranged in melee, so Sipahi do bonus damage against them. So that's why Sipahi are really good. But Sipahi in general is just a really powerful unit. High base damage. They have an extra, they have additional range, which allows them to kind of hit the back line a little bit easier. And when paired with a Mentor, these things are fast, have a lot of ranged armor so they can dive your TC. They're just overall a very powerful unit. Horseman trying to raid on the backside. You have the Imams just coming to heal up any damage it does. Spearmen force the horsemen away. And yeah, I think... Ooh, we do have Cultural Wing Logistics coming up from Muhodo, so that was not what I would expect, but still some good value there. Cosmos moving over with the Sipahi, gonna look for a raid. Looks like Muhodo's pretty buttoned up though. Not a lot of room to dive with those Sipahi yet.
Yeah, I mean, you do have the gold outside here in the back of the base, but there's a tower with arrow slits as well, so not enough garrison slots, of course, for all the villagers, but definitely enough to save a few. And yeah, you need to respect that. I mean, the Spahi, they do tank a little bit of damage, but yeah, not indefinitely, so gotta respect that as well.
Yeah, no ranged armor and no meter just kind of makes diving that tower not really worth it.
No, for sure. Mehmet Imperial Army coming up. We don't have a blacksmith yet. I do expect that to follow pretty soon because for 100 wood, right? You get 90 actually. It's they buffed that recently at some point. But for 90 wood, you get a very nice increase in production speed with the blacksmith. So as soon as you hit Castle Age, I would definitely expect the blacksmith to come. Scout losing his life over there. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Muhodo needs to do something in Castle Age. He cannot let this game go on. He needs a big raid. He needs a really good fight to go his way. And this entire time, that Dark Age military school has just been giving Cosmos value here. So even if he gets those 3 relics immediately, which is going to be difficult because he does not have map control, it's he needs to make a play. Last thing you ever want to do is go late game with Ottomans, last thing you ever want to do is go late game with Ayyubids. Ayyubids isn't strong there, and Ottomans is.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And the dervishes overall, they will be very strong in the fights because of their healing. Um, but yeah, the Sipahi again, like they also have healing if you put the imams there if you want to. So it's gonna be a little bit of a race here for the relics actually, as we see on the left side. You know, the dervish barely a little bit faster than the imam and laughing in his face while he's riding off with the relic. So 2 relics for now on the way to Muhodo, 1 on the way for Cosmos. So I'd expect a 3-2 split at least for Muhodo, in favor for Muhodo. And Camel Lancers, oh, they're beasts. They're good. I would say they're a good response here to the Sipahi. Just need to figure out a way to deal with the Spearmen running into the charging Sipahi, losing their life, but not actually. The Spearman actually didn't brace, it looks like. At least nobody died here on Muhodo's side. He could just heal it up again. This is so strong. This is so much value right there.
Yeah, Cosmos is in Castle Age and with Dark Age Spearmen, so you can clearly tell he didn't invest in the barracks. He doesn't value the Spearmen that much. He probably just took them from the Dark Age military school, and that's been it.
Yeah.
But now we have Janissaries kind of rolling in, and Janissaries, they're a Castle Age hand cannoneer unit that's unique. They do a ton of damage against cavalry. So Muhodo being in heavy cav, not the greatest thing. And this Janissary Sipahi comp, very deadly, very hard to beat. You need archers to really take down the Janissaries. You don't want archers against Sipahi.
No. Yeah, that's exactly right. So Cosmos was getting the hardened upgrade now at least, so he did go for a barracks now. Not before losing that 1 spearman, but you know, never late than never, I guess. Better late than never.
Lancers finding some victims.
Yeah,
Cosmos trying to go out onto the food here.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to go out there eventually. 4 villagers, that potentially is another one. Yeah, that should be the 5th one here. So good raid here. And again, like not losing a single camel lancer for now. I mean, they're super tanky but super expensive as well. So need to be careful to not lose them. But again, you have 3 dervishes. Just pull them back, you heal them up again, and you have 100% back from the value. And I mean, yeah, villager-wise, you know, 47 to 36. Really a lot in favor here for Muhodo right now. And I don't know, like, you know, that's one of the situations where you're probably tempted as Ottomans to go for a second town center and then just go for the Pax Ottomana. Where it's flipped here. The UI is flipped for whatever reason. You know, to just get the increased villager production just to get some kind of equal bonus here, or equal advantage.
Yeah, I don't think Ottomans needs a second town center yet. Sure, losing 5 villagers hurts, but it's not anything that's going to cripple them. There are 3 military schools under a blacksmith right now to bring additional value. Cosmos just needs to force a fight and take some of these units from Muhodo. Muhodo's done a fantastic job of pulling back, healing up, and not really losing anything. If you look at the destroyed value, Muhodo has 0. Or 655, sorry, 0 villager kills. It's not a lot of destroyed value.
No, definitely not. And I mean, especially, you know, considering that he has invested a lot in the military so far, and he has a sizable army, but he has been able to find the damage, as you said, and even the raid, you know, with the lancers earlier, with the camel lancers, that is something where you usually would at least hope to pick 1 or 2 of the camel lancers up and be like, okay, I did lose a few villagers by, oh my goodness, 17 villager kills? What just happened?
Muhodo found the gold.
Yeah, he did find the gold. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so Cosmos now either needs a second town center, Caster's Curse, right? I was just saying he didn't need one, but after that he does. Or he needs to go get value. Looks like he's opting to go get value. He's applying pressure to Muhodo's side, hoping that Muhodo will pull back all of his forces to defend this push, or that he'll just get equal value, kill a lot of villagers. and sort of level the playing field. But yeah, Cosmos definitely not in a comfortable position.
No, no, absolutely not. 21 villager, 23, so that's just going up and up. And so while Cosmos is putting some pressure up here, choke point here is not really easy to get on top of the archers here, but that is looking really good for Cosmos now. Muhodo, couple idle villagers here, needs to figure out how to deal with that. But he, oh wow, how did you get so many Janissaries? 21 Janissaries on Cosmos side. I mean, that is a lot of Janissaries. And if he has the siege to, burn down the town center and the Halls of Wisdom, he might actually win the game with 23 villagers lost and half down. Down half in villagers, basically.
Yeah, so he used Janissary Company, Vizier Point. That's how he amassed so many so quickly. But it's still a long road back, right? Muhodo is now investing in archers to try to counter some of these Janissaries. He's going to keep with the Camel Lancers. I think at this point, if Muhodo just kind of continues with his comp and tries to find additional value, and oh no, there's 10 more Janissaries and a crossbow coming. This might be a little bit of a tough fight for Muhodo. I don't think he can take it. Loses a Camel Lancer scout, but nothing more. He backs off, and this is where Cosmos could add in a second TC or start making rams to kind of get back into this game.
Yeah, and
a lot of stone.
It does have stone. It actually looks like kind of close to going for a second town center here with the villagers. He does have he has all the military schools that he can currently build. So yeah, I think that would be the logical conclusion. He does need a while to get the next vizier point for Pax Ottomana. So for now it would just be regular village production. Another lancer in the raid in the gold here, finding some more villager kills up to 26. Potentially even kill the imam. Okay, no, he respects the imam. That is good. So no religious crimes being committed today.
Yeah, down south though, you do have Cosmos Sipahi finding villagers. There's only 5 garrison slots, so the other 5 have to run for their life. So Cosmos is gonna get some value here. 1 villager going down in the group, 2nd villager going down in the group. I do think he's going to lose these last 2. He split his villagers, so at least 1 additional one will survive. But that was a little bit of value for Cosmos. And we do have the 2nd town center coming up on the wood line right next to the stone. So yeah, Cosmos knows he just needs to kind of pull this into the late game, and he'll be fine. He's slowly losing the military lead, but he does have the military value lead.
Yeah, and the good thing is, I mean, being Ottomans, even if he, completely re-macros and just puts everything into what he needs to go into Imperial Age or, for multiple town centers, he still produces military, not not massively, of course, but he will always have some form of military production, and so he, Ottomans is one of the civilizations who should be fine even if they don't produce anything. Let's say it would be French, like that would be bad. If you don't produce units, it might be rough. But with the Ottomans, they will always produce something, so they'll be fine for now. But Muhodo is also, closing in with a big army on the left side of the map here, finding some more raids here, a horseman this time, so not doing too much damage here, but okay, it's mainly archers. It looks, scary on the minimap, but it's actually, quote unquote just archers.
Archers versus Mango. There's enough archers here to take it down, but now Cosmos bringing back his Sipahi Janissary Spear comp, and he might be able to get a lot of value on these archers here. They are forced to retreat. Meanwhile, Muhodo found out about the 2nd TC, as his Camel Lancers have dived it, and we have a little bit of chaos all over the place. Cosmos's forces are taking down a mill instead of fighting back, but he corrects that. I don't think there's enough Sipahi to take out these archers. I think this is a good fight for Muhodo.
This is a really good fight. Yeah, this is a really good fight, especially with the Mangonel, and with that, Cosmos actually taps out.
Yeah, I didn't think it was over. I definitely think Muhodo was ahead, but I'm not entirely sure what Cosmos saw
Mm.
to tap out there.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily what he saw. I would say it's what had happened so far. I mean, if we're looking at the villager count, if we're looking at the resources gathered, uh, this is a very one-sided match. Just because of all the villagers that have been lost. Um, and so I think it was just the situation that for the last 10 minutes he was behind, and like more and more, and it kind of grew massively, and he was not able to like outclass him military wise. And so I think that's the reason. It was not necessarily what he saw; it was just what had happened. And he was like, okay, well, like I'm not going to get back from this again. Like it's not gonna happen. I'm way too much behind. He might be imp already almost, which is not fun.
Uh, yeah, that is fair. I saw a recovery arc for Cosmos. I didn't think it was over, but he disagreed with me, and that's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, discovery or recovery arc for sure. I agree with that with that. But it was an uphill battle, and so especially in a best of five, he already had four matches before, and now he potentially has four more ahead of him. Like maybe you just save your strength, your stamina. You're like, okay, you know what? Let's get over with. Let's get this over with and just GG next, and then like maybe I'll clap back in the next one. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
no, I mean makes perfect sense. You know, um, so I think players have decided on the next map and done their Civ draft for the next one. So I think next game is going to be underway relatively soon.
yeah. Not only that, it actually looks like they did they really have like a super quick game in between? I need to double check that because I see two different drafts in there. I need to look at the timestamp. I'll invite you for now, and then we can. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay. So timestamp. Okay, that could have been a 5 minute game. I really need to check that out. Um,
I would be very curious to how a game would end in 5 minutes.
well, it happens, right?
Uh, for some reason, I got kicked from your group. By the way, not sure why.
Yeah, I don't know. What's? It looks like they're in my group now. Oh, are you?
Yeah, so I guess we have to hang on while you do some investigative work. Do we see them in game?
I think they are. No, he's online now. Um, yeah, it really was. No. Okay, like the game was 1 minute and 51 seconds. How? What? Why?
Yeah, that's a little odd.
Um,
I mean, even if you tower rush with Mongols, which wasn't the civ that was picked,
even then, yeah.
yeah, like you don't even have your spears out. So maybe there was a crash. Is the only thing I can think of, or
I mean, Cosmos
I'm not sure.
was losing a villager, which so Muhodo he did go for some kind of military, and Cosmos lost a villager, which It was HE against Abysid. Okay, so I'm guessing that Muhodo was playing barracks and was attacking the gold, and there was nothing else there. Like that's the only logical explanation to me.
That's
Um,
fair.
which
Well,
yeah,
send me a group invite,
yes,
and I guess we can go to game 3,
yeah, we'll do so. Just a second. So let's update.
which is that is a crazy fast game.
Yeah, yeah, that is insane. But the thing is, it was Frisian Marshes, and yeah, if you lose access to your gold, you don't have anything like in the near vicinity, and you're like, okay, well, I mean, he's just gonna continue that. I don't have anything against that. I didn't expect that or whatever, and he will just attack my next gold, and then the other one, and the other one. I will not even go to Castle Age, to the Feudal Age. I do understand if
Yeah.
you're like, okay, you know what, like, there's no way.
Yeah, I'm
So,
just gonna have to watch and see how that's done on that map because, whew, not not on my bingo card.
I mean, the funny thing is, we could just watch the replay. It's like 2 minutes. It doesn't matter. Like,
Balls in your court.
okay, I'm
And
gonna
I'm not
check
really
out
sure.
if they're like online right now. Doesn't look like they. Okay, no, they did start the game. Okay. Nah, let's not do that. That's just you can look at it later, but that must have been a banger of a game. So okay, next one would be okay, Japanese against Juicy's Legacy.
Yeah, so a banger of a game. It sounds like it was a one-sided game.
A banger of a one-sided game.
Yeah,
On Cliffside.
but Japanese versus Zushi's Legacy. This is a good matchup here. Japanese very powerful, Zushi's Legacy very powerful, but powerful in different ways. Zushi is going to want to fast castle. They're gonna want to pro scout. Japanese, on the other hand, doesn't really have the need for food so early on where they need to pro scout. Japanese also has the ability to be aggressive in the Dark Age. So this game could go a number of different ways. Well, obviously every game can go a number of different ways, but I'm almost betting
You're
that we're gonna
almost
see some
betting.
Dark Age aggression. Let's see if
Okay.
we get Dark Age aggression.
Let's see if we do that. I would expect that, and there we go. So Mahudo playing on the let's switch the UI actually. Um Playing on the right side of the map with the Japanese opening with the barracks immediately, and then yeah, just putting the that. Okay. Oh. Yeah. And yeah, Cosmos opening with the classic mill opener here from Juicy's Legacy. Also did chop a little bit of wood, so he will have enough for the village, which I'm guessing will. Yeah, there is coming up
All
shortly.
right. I was wondering if Cosmos was going to use the no gold build to get
Hmm.
into Feudal Age, but I do see the imprint of the mining camp, so he is going to attempt to get some gold. It is possible to just get to the next age using exclusively tax, but he's going to go to gather some gold here. It's a little bit slower. You can do it though, um, but looks like Cosmos is not going to do that. So Spearman's making his way over to the gold there, and Cosmos is going to have a little surprise in a couple minutes. But the Dark Age aggression from Muhodo also prevents Cosmos from getting a really good meditation gardens.
Hmm.
Cosmos is going to now be forced to kind of keep it closer to home. As I look around this map, there's a couple spots outside the base that I think could be good. Like there's one where he can get maybe double berries or 90% of double berries with it and get some stone and get some wood as well. But we're probably going to see as soon as Cosmos knows there's aggression, which he definitely knows now. We're probably going to see a safe meditation gardens.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Juice's Legacy on Cliffside as well already in an earlier match. And actually, I think it was Cosmos playing Juice's Legacy, and he had to opt for for more exposed meditation gardens, just because of the fact that there wasn't really anything great in his base, and so he was opting for something a little bit more outside. But that was also against Roos, so he was like, well, his pro scouts are not gonna, destroy my meditation gardens necessarily, so that was fine. So yeah, needs to figure out a way now. I mean, he has, 170 something gold. He does have now. I guess he grabbed the taxes from the mill. Um, so yeah, could go back to gold now. Well, there it is, meditation gardens. That's right, yeah, because
Okay.
well, it's cheaper. Tang Dynasty. There you go. Um, wow.
Yeah, just the location of it. It's a
Uh,
lot of wood,
the
but
like,
that's
uh, if that would be an Aachen chapel, I would understand. But
I
with
think all he's doing is getting wood, right?
I'm so curious to see what is happening. Like this, like it looks like the worst meditation garden ever. Um, Actually, like in fact, if you if you ever play against AI, they have horrible choices where they put landmarks and meditation gardens and keeps and all that kind of stuff. But I think even the AI would do like look for something more lucrative than this one here. Um, I'm curious to see how much wood that is gonna generate. Like that is gonna be insane.
It's gonna be a lot of wood, but I just wonder, could he have gotten that same amount of wood or close to that same amount and grabbed these berries? Could he have maybe gotten something on gold? We do have an archery range coming up, so that's going to get him a Chuganu. That's going to force Muhodo to pull back the spears. Spears versus Chuganu is a very one-sided fight.
Yeah, pretty one-sided fight, that is for sure. There's the barracks coming up, so yeah, it's definitely gonna help him to just generate enough wood to constantly produce, yeah, production builds. And in fact, I would actually love to see the Jiangnang Tower, and then he just, with all the wood income from the meditation gardens, he's just constantly producing military buildings and creating free units with that. Um, I think that was I don't know if that's something that has ever been really explored other than by Don Ardi, with the Jiangnang Tower and then just, pumping military buildings all like non-stop. But that would be fun. That would be really fun to see.
Yeah, well, what I can tell you is we are not getting a cookie cutter Zushi's Legacy build. We are getting something very different than what you might see in other tournaments. You're getting what looks to be, potentially, some sort of Chuganu rush, maybe with the Castle Age timing on it. Which, if Muhodo decides to go for a fast castle into mass-mounted samurai, might give Cosmos some issues there.
Yeah, I mean, for now it certainly doesn't look like that. He built 2 archery ranges in the back of the base, so he pulled off gold completely because of the Shuganu, and so it more looks like the Ashigaru spam instead, which they're gonna do great against Spearman Juganu. At least like great against the Spearman, and definitely okay against Juganu because of their faster move speed, more range, and yeah.
So we have Palace Guards coming in, though. Palace Guards are going to tank. It's going to force Muhodo to be very precise with his micro, which Muhodo is definitely capable of that. And we have an Ono Bugeisha on the field as well, so definitely going to be an interesting one. Palace Guard is heading south. I don't know what he's going towards, though.
Well, I mean,
He's kind of on his own little mission.
he's kind of scouting right now. I don't know what is he. I mean, so against Japanese, you don't expect pro scouts, but what is he doing there? That's really curious to see.
He was checking the gold. That's the only explanation I have.
Yeah.
Looks like Muhodo wants to get to Castle Age, but doesn't have access to gold. The forward gold spawn really sort of prevented that. And so I think the Palace Guard was just going to make sure he wasn't getting gold down south.
Yeah, and with the forts being destroyed, actually the steeled arrow research also being halted. So yeah, that is like if you look at the map for both players, you have this one gold which is more or less, more or less close to your base, even though the one for Muhodo is really badly forward. Um, and other than that, you really have to go out on the map, which you know, it's cliffside. That's how it is. By the way, 40 wood per no, it probably is more than that because there's a scout here right now. I really need to check how much the meditation garden is getting in terms of wood.
Yeah, it's probably going to be 45, something in that range, 44. Cosmos is maneuvering around towards the south side of Mahudu's base. Yumi Ashigaru are coming around, but there's not enough Yumi to really take this fight. I don't think they can win this. Good news is they are fast enough where they can run away.
Yeah, they shouldn't necessarily take that fight for now, especially with the palace guards, and they're also pretty fast. So need to need to respect that for now. And it's trying to make his way over there, but Cosmos is actually not trying to shut him off. That is really nice, nicely done here with the micro. More Ashigaru here from the south side or from bottom here from the hill coming towards that. So the numbers are looking strong, and you know Ashigaru they're weaker archers obviously, but they're also pretty cheap as well, and so compared to the cost, they're actually not that weak. And so you can mass them up really easily and have to really respect that. Even though you have palace guards, like early palace guards. Look at that damage.
Yeah, there are just so many of them, Yumi's, but now the Chuganu should be able to, I don't know, I'm not sure who wins this fight. I think Muhodo can kite back. Cosmos has horsemen in there, has palace guards in there, so he's got enough of a tank to allow the Chuganu to really be the DPS unit. But for some reason, these Yumi, I would not have expected this, really just pushing the Chuganu back. I thought Chuganu would feast on Yumi.
No, I mean
Does not appear to be the case.
no, I think the main reason for that. Okay, we have a Bannerman now in the mix, so that definitely even further, skews that fight. Um, I think the main reason is just the speed and the range that the Yumi have, and so they can just kite a lot more effectively than with the Shuganu, because it's actually really easy to with that volley solve that they're doing, to disrupt that, and then they don't do the whole 3 shots and need a little bit to set that up actually, and so uh, a little bit like the javelin throws. I feel like it's sometimes difficult to get your shots in. If you do, they're really strong, but if they're just dancing around the Yumi, then it is a little bit more difficult. And Muhodo is doing a great job with his microing, and with the Bannerman also, increasing the damage here as well. So yeah, just a good comp overall, and very cheap to produce, even though now he's back on goal, but not for long.
No, that villager running for his dear life. Looks like the gold that Muhodo has been getting has been the residual from mining stone. On the backside of his base there, palace guards charging in. They're just such a good tank. Even though there's 20 Yumi here, those palace guards are just eating a lot of it up. Cosmos, though, forced back. He doesn't have enough units here. He needs to bolt back to his base, and it's going to buy time for Muhodo. Muhodo might be able to get a tower up on this gold and get his gold back here.
Wow, that is crazy. What a fight. I mean, so Cosmos was able to get the Bannerman, so that was important, but just the bonus is still lingering for what is it, 20 or 30 seconds, so that you need to then move back again, and he was just bleeding too many units there. In terms of villagers, it's pretty even, but I don't know. Like, I would say this was one of the games where I'm like, I'm not sure if I would have tapped out at that moment. I mean, yeah, sure, he was losing a lot, but at the same time, he did a lot of damage and he did prevent his opponent from getting the gold. So, I don't know. Do you think that was a little bit premature, maybe?
The Yumi started just massing so much that I don't know that Cosmos really had an answer. He didn't have as much resources,
Mm.
just due to um, the sort of inferior economy Zushi sometimes has without pro scouts. And I think he was just having trouble massing. And once you get a blob of Yumi that are, X size, they can just kite you indefinitely. And horsemen don't really counter them. Neither do Chuganu Palace Guard. So,
Mm.
yeah, I just think Mahudu's mass got to be too big.